Hi there. Today I'm going to share with you a simple technique that you can use to tweak your communication style. This technique will help you communicate more clearly, communicate more effectively, and be better understood. If this is your first time here, I welcome you. Thank you for being here. Please do me a favor and hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so you can be notified of new videos. If you've been here before, welcome. I'm so happy to have you back. Let's get this started. See you on the other side. Hi there, Rose here, the Happiness Warrior. Welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to share with you a technique that I call think, feel, and know. So I think, I feel, I know. Before that, let me give you a quick story of how I came to this. So a few years ago, I was complaining. I used to be a complainer. I complained a lot. I was so focused on all the things that were not working, that my communication style was always about this is not working and that's not working and this happened and that happened and that happened and that happened. And so I was talking to one of my friends who's more advanced in his spiritual practice and who has always been advanced. Then I didn't have the awareness. And he told me, I have a hard time communicating with you. When I communicate with you, some of the things that you say, you communicate as if it's an emergency. And when later on you give me more details, I understand that it's not an emergency. And so he said, to communicate with me, to help me understand you, can you please state what you think and what you feel? He said, whenever you speak to me, please say I think or I feel. He's like, I have a hard time understanding you because you would say I think, whereas it feels like, he would say I would think, but when I hear you, it's actually a feeling, and vice versa. So of course at that moment, as I was communicating with him, I was upset. I was trying to explain something to him and I have been holding on because he was busy. And so by the time he got to me, I was boiling up. I had so much to say and he interrupts to say, I want you to communicate in terms of I think and I feel. I had also previously expressed to him that I wanted to be more coachable, that I wanted to grow and I wanted to do something different. So even though I didn't like him saying that, I knew that I wanted to change and therefore I tried his technique. Now, as I was doing that, I heard myself say, I think this and this and this. I feel this and this and this. Not only did it help him understand me better, I started using the technique for myself and how I communicate with people, but also how I communicate with myself. Because when you start saying things like, I think, one thing you have to remember as we're getting into the technique, I think it's a thought. Your thought is not always a reality. It is based only on your perception. And you can take one word, misunderstand that word and create a story about it. We can think ourselves to sickness. We can literally think about something, stress ourselves out about a situation that has not even happened, or think about a situation that happened in the past a long time ago that's not even happening right now and become sick. And by sick, I mean it can create some kind of pain for us in the present moment. Right? So as I'm getting into the technique, let's get into it because you're thinking, okay, tell me. The technique is, like I say, I think, I feel, I know. When you tell someone that you think, you're letting them know, and like I say, you should give people a preamble. You're letting them know, but when you say I think, you're letting them know, these are my thoughts. I could be wrong. This is based on only these references that I have, and I could be wrong, and do correct me if I'm wrong. You can also state to them that you're open to feedback if you're wrong, right? Like you're just stating what you're thinking, and it's okay if you're wrong. The second part is when you're communicating, also remember, is this a thought? Is this a feeling? Or is this a fact? So when you focus on I think, you're saying, these are my thoughts, I could be wrong, this is what I have in my mind, and I'm sharing it with you. When you say I feel, that's what you're feeling. Again, it's not a reality, it's a feeling. Your feelings are valid, but your feelings are only based on what you think you know. Did you hear me? Your feelings are based sometimes on what you think you know, right? Like sometimes you think something is happening or something has happened, right? But sometimes you think someone is maybe doing something and they're not actually doing that. You just don't have all the information. And so you're thinking about that, you're getting upset about it, right? It's not real. And so now you're feeling upset because you took a thought that wasn't true and you made it into a story. So when you say I feel, remember they're emotions. And I feel can mean a range of things. It could be you are frustrated, and because you're frustrated, you are reacting a certain way, you're communicating a certain way. It could be that you feel jealous. When you feel jealous, you're going to say things differently. You're going to talk to and about people differently. It could be that you feel tired. It could be that you feel hurt, right? Like whatever it is that happened, whether someone else was involved or not, you feel hurt. You're hurt by the situation, you're emotional, and so you are reacting. You're not being proactive and taking action, you're reacting because of the situation and because you're hurt. When you're saying I feel, just be sure to state that it's feel, emotions, or feel intuition. And the last one is I know, because make sure that you do have factual evidence, that you have tangible evidence, right? That's the only time you will say I know. You actually have proof, right? These are hard facts, right? Cold hard fact, like they say, when you decide to say I know, right? So I think my thought could be wrong, and I'm okay with my thought being wrong. It's colored by my perspective, by my lenses, by the way I view the world, my feelings, I feel. And then when you have hard fact and evidence, I know. And so I'm going to wrap it up. As you're communicating, be clear as to what you're thinking, as to what you're feeling, as to what you know. If this is really difficult to do, which it would be at first, you've never done it before, this is the first time, it doesn't seem natural, you can write it down. You know, if you're having difficulty communicating with people and this is one of those situations where you think, hey, this is a great technique, I could use this, write it down. Write it down when you're communicating with people, write it down when you're communicating with yourself. When you write things down and then you read, I think, right? You get time to evaluate that thinking, that thought. You get time to analyze that thought. Is this true? What evidence do I have? Right? Because you cannot just go on a thought. Like I say, I think. You have to ask yourself, is it true? If it's not true, you have to state that to the other person. It's a thought, I could be wrong, and it's okay. So as you're using this technique, I think, I feel, I know, keep in mind that when the situation escalates and maybe it looks like the other person isn't willing to meet you halfway, find common ground, abort. You have to know when to abort. Do not argue with crazy people. Sometimes, there's a quote that says, do not argue with people who are committed to misunderstanding you. When it comes down to it and you're expressing yourself, and when I say argue, for me, an argument is actually a positive thing. It means, an exchange of ideas. An exchange of ideas where both people are very passionate about what they believe. An argument is an opportunity for you to learn something new, for you to learn a different point of view, to see where the other person is coming from. But it helps if you can be clear and concise in the way you communicate. Again, I think, meaning you know that you could be wrong, there's that thought, things in your mind that you created, be honest with yourself. I feel your feelings, maybe your feelings are hurt, maybe you're tired, maybe you're feeling jealous, whatever it is, acknowledge it. And then I know based on a true hard cold facts. Now, another thing, right, when I say I think, I feel, I know, this all comes down to one thing: knowing who you are. Who am I? Knowing thyself. In order to improve, in order to grow, you need to take time to understand you. You need to know you better than anyone. If you don't know yourself, it's going to be hard to make changes, and it's going to be hard to see things that it's going to be hard to learn, right? Learning can happen every day, everywhere, but it really comes down to how open you are to that, right? So if you love this, please share it with other people, especially if you think that it could help them. Please let me know in the comment below what you thought of this. Does this make sense to you? Does it resonate with you? Is it something that you're already using? Or are you using something similar? Share with me, let me know. I would love to hear your thought. Now, if there's a topic you would love for me, not like, this is all about passion. If there's a topic you would love for me to discuss, let me know in the comment below. If I do not have the expertise, I will bring someone else in, or I will use a book or reference. Don't forget to get your copy of my ebook at thehappinesswarrior.com. So go head over to my website at thehappinesswarrior.com and download your copy of my free ebook, right? The free ebook on the website. Remember, to love yourself, it's a journey. Take the journey inside you, fall madly in love with yourself. Once you experience unconditional love and you love yourself with all your flaws, you can learn to love other people as so. You can learn to love other people unconditionally, because you already know how to love an imperfect person, which is you. Therefore, it's easy to be tolerant and more accepting of others. As always, please continue taking care of yourself. Self-love is the first love. It's the best love. Again, I am so happy that you stopped by here today to share, to listen to this technique with me. I appreciate your time. Thank you so much.